Okay guys, don't worry, we are starting shortly, but Cold Killer is doing something else. It's fair. So, we will be with you in a few minutes. Okay, it is working. As I said, Mark is still working on his part. So yeah, but that's all great, I guess. I mean, we have to wait, and I didn't want you guys waiting any longer on the intro screen for longer than a few minutes. How are you guys doing? I don't know. I don't know how you guys are doing, so let me know if you want to tell me that. Not that it's really important, but hey, maybe it's quite cool. And we're still streaming, by the way, in 1080p. I won't go any lower than 1080p. Because, hey, I mean, even my computer can do this. And my screen is looking good, and my stream as well. Cool. So yeah, we have some great topics for you guys today. First of all, and actually the one is actually finally, my Shadow cloud computer has been arrived. Well, actually, it's just like a app with cloud computing. We are going to talk a little bit about Apple. We love Apple. Actually, that Apple buys Intel 5G modem. So that's quite funny. We'll have to talk about GTA 5 with that whole casino thing. We will give you our thoughts of that, and maybe a little bit Intel or AMD questions. I don't know. And Cold Killer has some lovely things about his new order, his new Nintendo thing or Switch, what he ever, I don't know. Quite fun. So let's wait for him, I guess. But anyway, he's working pretty hard in the background. Oh. Okay. Hmm. Why is my screen giving here a dark vision? Oh, my screen is a little bit damaged here. Okay. Hmm. But guys, I can tell you so far as now that the cloud computing experience that I had for like the couple of hours I've played with it, and I actually played like Insurgency Sandstorm, and that worked absolutely flawlessly. There were some minor things that still don't work, but yeah, there are a few. I mean, it's a beta. Actually, it's actually hosted, as far as I know, in a Dutch data center. I don't know, but it's working quite well actually. And it was like 15 euros per month if you do it monthly, and if you do a year commitment, then it will cost you like 12 euros a month. Hmm. But let's wait for Mr. Mark. And yes, I'm still using a phone and a separate, actually my old iPhone, well actually my iPhone 6, my daily driver, as my webcam and microphone, so sorry if they are not synchronized. Actually, I don't care. I mean, I'm just a cheapskate, and I will buy, actually at some point, I will buy a real headset, or actually a real microphone and a real camera. At some point, I will do. I will do. Actually, I have my GoPro here, which I actually want to use. But the store didn't include the battery, so it's actually a useless piece of shit, and I have to wait until I got the battery. Hello!
Hallo, wie geht's?
Ja, sehr gut. You are live?
Super.
de wereld kan jou nou zien, ja.
I'm sitting on
Hallo!
the smelly chair.
The smelly chair.
The aroma coming from the chairs.
Aroma! So, but how was your day, Mr. Mark?
It was good.
Good? Yeah?
Had some people were saying I was delivering excellent service, and a couple of people who were shouting at me because they were unhappy.
Oh, well, of course, that's when you're working in customer service. I told you.
Yeah.
But hey, you did anyway.
The good outweighs the bad.
That's true. And you got your contract renewed, so that's quite unusual for you, actually.
I still have to do my date.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, where shall we start? Shall we start actually at my new experience with Shadow? My new cloud computing.
How was your new experience with Shadow?
Well, actually, I downloaded. The only thing that's a little bit slow is their email confirmation system. It's still a bit slow, but hey, okay, they're brand new. I have to work under a German IP address, so actually everything on the cloud computer thinks that I'm German, so everything is in German. But that doesn't really matter for me because I can read it, so that's fine. But they want to actually set up a Dutch customer service and a Dutch center, actually. And I said, no, just keep it in English. I mean, most people who actually have Shadow in the first place will be speaking English anyway. So yeah, that doesn't really matter if you, just keep it in English, because your Dutch sucks. Yeah, actually my experience so far, pretty good. They're coming with a discount for like the first 1,000 people will get like €15 a month. 15 instead of 25, and if it is going 25, then it will actually cut off. I mean, I won't pay 25 per month actually stream cloud computing.
So they say it will be €25 per month.
Yeah, that's what I've heard actually. I don't know.
Quite a lot of money actually.
Yeah, so I have now like the €15 option because I didn't opt in for like a whole year, so like €11 a month or €12 actually. Because I still want to test it out for this whole month of August. I will test it. And if I like it, I will actually change my subscription to maybe a 1-year commitment for like, and then like €12 a month. But there are some things still not really working. For example, my cameras are not really seen actually. So Shadow doesn't really recognize it, which is quite a shame, but also quite understandable since I'm working with a cheap-ass solution. It doesn't always detect my mouse inputs, so my mouse sometimes is a little bit laggy, but still, of course, it's brand new in the Netherlands, so I'm actually quite happy that I have my computer. But the overall experience is quite good actually. It feels like a real computer. And I stress tested it, I actually dropped a lot of data on it, played some games like Apex Legends, works flawlessly. It works even better than GeForce Now in my experience.
Yeah, GeForce Now sometimes have some stuttering because in the game it's not always that good.
No, but it's of course different. They're working at the same principle. It's still GeForce Now and Shadow are both streaming services. But with GeForce Now, you just have the game. And it's all Linux based, so it's actually in the background it's Linux, so it's actually using Wine as well. So that's a little bit of the drawback. And you have to share your GPU with other people. You have to share. At Shadow, I've heard that you actually get like 8 dedicated threads to your system. It's a, let's see, what was it? It was a Xeon processor. I will actually go to shadow.tech.
It's probably a Xeon since it's a network thingy.
Yep. Let's see, the technical specifications.
How much RAM does it have?
12 gigabyte DDR4. It has an Intel Xeon with 8 dedicated threads. So each person has 8 dedicated threads, 12 gigabytes of own memory, so not shared.
Xeon, that's probably a lot. All these different cores with the different threads. So.
Yep, so I got 8 dedicated threads only to my disposal, which is quite good. I have 256 gigabytes of dedicated storage, which is enough for now, but if I'm going to do more, I will actually buy extra storage because of my games that I want to play on it. I got a 1 gigabit download speed and 100 megabits upload. So actually the download, I was downloading the game and it was actually there in 3 minutes. So that was actually quite fast.
That is really fast.
Yeah, but even I have a fiber connection And that still takes a little bit longer because I only have like, now I downgraded my fiber line, so I have only 600 megabits a second now. Because that's more than enough for what I do with my service. I don't go for full gigabit just net. But I'm actually using this all on a single Zigo modem. So no extra Wi-Fi or routers in between. So only the Zigo modem. So I actually disconnected all my Wi-Fi equipment and actually only running it through my modem. So I will see how good it is only on my modem. How good can consumer modems handle it? Because if I connect my own hardware again, it will be much better experience because it's my own dedicated hardware. But actually, even my Zigo modem can keep up with it, so that's quite good. So yeah, for now it's actually working pretty well. It also gets like Windows 10, 64 bits. That's quite cool.
Oh, good. Sounds really good.
Yeah,
Sounds almost too good to be true.
It has a GTX 1080. Yeah, it's always something that must be too good to be true. I really hope that the prices won't be higher than 15 euros. I think I will go to like the 1 year subscription. I will do that at some point, I guess, if I'm actually going for it. Then I don't need to do all this. But yeah, we will see actually. We will see.
All right. Well, sounds really good. So
yeah, the only thing they have to do is do a little bit of work on their Dutch. Because if they are going to do Dutch, then why are they actually saying dedicated high-end NVIDIA graphics and the rest is in Dutch? Then just say it fully in Dutch and not only half. They say nieuw and vorige. I mean, that's totally stupid why they did it that way. And abonneren, they did it with 3 N's instead of 2.
Of course, you loudly complained to them.
Of course I did. I mean, for me, just for me, because I am a nerd and I don't care, they can actually just go with like a English version. I don't need Dutch. For all the people that are going with this cloud computing anyway, they will go with English anyway. So I don't see the reason why they have to go in Dutch. I mean, there is no reason for it. Maybe because they want to target people who don't have money for a computer, so they can do this.
I don't know. Maybe they see because they're German. I mean, they're close to us. Maybe they see a bit of a hole in the market. I think they can actually, get some people in because
actually, Shadow is official from Blade, and Blade is originally French. So yeah, they're a French-based.
Well, at least it's European, so to say.
It's European actually, and I am for now. I'm actually quite happy, except for your webcam. I don't know what's going on with your quality on your end, but your quality sucks again. So you have to look up your internet connection there. Because your Skype is dropping once again.
I'm not doing anything. There's nothing open, so. I was just looking at the website of the Sega, but that's it. I'm not doing anything.
Well, maybe it's something with Skype once again. We will know.
I think a hiccup. Yeah, because nothing's happening, so nothing uploading, so. Nope.
So yeah, that's actually quite cool from Shadow, in my opinion, that they finally released their Shadow services, which I'm actually quite pleased with. And it's working pretty well, and I have to see for this, I will check it out for a full 2 weeks. I will use it full 2 weeks for gaming, and I will also make my review of it. Because I will first play a few games with it, and then I will actually come up with a review how I like it.
So what kind of games are you going to download?
Well, actually, you can play all games you actually want, which actually supported on the computer. So
do you have to pay for these games, or do they provide these games?
No. You have to buy your own game, so it's actually your own.
Right. You can just install it there.
Yep, and it comes actually preloaded with everything I wanted. So it came preloaded with Firefox, Chrome, OBS Studio was already preloaded on mine, and
right. Did you request that they would put it on the computer, or?
No, it will be automatically. You can go for like a fresh install, so then you have to do everything yourself, or preloaded. And I chose for the preloaded. Why not? And it worked actually pretty well.
Sounds a bit more like I said yesterday a terminal, but this sounds more like a computer on distance, like so to say.
Yeah, it more or less sounds like that actually, yeah.
Yeah, so you have access to this own computer. It's not even a cloud server. It's just really actually a computer.
It is a computer, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
And actually the quality is better than GeForce Now, I have to admit it.
Yeah, GeForce Now sometimes really sucks.
Yeah, it worked in the beginning pretty well, but I don't know what they've done with the updates because the first releases actually worked fine.
They
But
ruined it.
yeah, they ruined it because they should always say my connection is not good enough. So then I switched to my fiber connection because I don't use my fiber connection for personal stuff. I only use it for my data and my servers up there. But even then, it was saying your connection is slow, and I was thinking, oh my god, I have a fucking 1 gigabit connection. So what the hell is the problem? And Shadow is not even complaining at all. It says, okay, I like your modem, it's fine, and even my modem is able to handle it perfectly fine. So that's quite funny.
Good. Well, I'm happy we have a tester in the group.
Yeah. So yeah, I will test it. And I will actually play some games on it, and then I will give you people my lovely review about it.
Yay!
I will give you a lovely in-depth video. It will come
Yay!
like somewhere next week in the line of like Saturday or Sunday. I will make the video, and I will
When are you
start
going to
having.
try Battlefield 5?
Actually, I ditched that. I won't even try. I don't. I won't even download that game. Even when I can play its trial version, I just don't want to play it. I just refuse it. I mean, I
Oh,
don't like
nobody
it.
wants to play it. That's the whole
No.
issue. All right, so I think we can switch to my topic. I think
Oh yeah, we can. Yeah.
the Sega Master System Mini.
Yay!
Yay!
So you
Because
did.
if you have Nintendo with a Super NES Mini and a NES Mini, you also need and a C64 Mini. You
Yeah.
also need a a Sega Master Drive Mini.
And how
Yay!
much did you pay for it? Just out of curiosity.
I paid for it 80 euros,
Okay, that's not
which
heavily overpriced.
is not heavily overpriced. It is a tad expensive, but then I was looking on the website because I didn't even know what I saw 40 games, but I had no clue how many games. That's funny that website says it's not safe. Okay, interesting. Official website. If you go to the website, I will just share the link here. There we go. Official website. You do get really 40 games, and there are some really good classical games on there. You do get the original Sega controller, which was beloved by many people.
Yeah.
Actually, the machine looks like a normal Sega Mega Drive.
Okay, I'll actually go
That's
to this.
yeah, that's not very. I mean, it looks like a Mega Drive, but there's a tiny one, and all the stuff on the Mega Drive obviously doesn't work because it's just a little box with a chip inside, just like the other ones. You do get two control pads. You get a power cable, you get an HDMI cable, so that's good. It's really packed with all kinds of things. You can play with a friend, so that's always good. You get Echo the Dolphin, which was a very famous game in its time. Castlevania.
Oh, I have the site here. Okay,
Yeah.
Castlevania. Yeah, I
Sonic the
remember
Hedgehog,
that game. Yeah.
Altered Beast, which also is a very revered game for the
Yep.
Sega systems. Let me see, what more do you get? These Mickey Mouse games, I'm not really familiar with them. Shinobi, which is also a very good game. Street Fighter. Earthworm Jim, which is a very funny game. Also very good. Sonic Hedgehog 2. Probotector is also a very famous game. Ghouls and Ghosts, very, very famous. Alex Kidd in Miracle Land, very famous. What more do you get?
Actually, a lot of games.
2, Mega Man, Sonic Pinball is also a very well-known game. And what do you get more? Well, the other games I'm not that familiar with, but yeah, I mean the whole system bristled with good games. It was always revered for its great games. So Darius, that's a good game. It's a bonus title, and Tetris. Well, I mean, it's Tetris. It's all right. It's always fun.
Yeah, it's Tetris. So yeah, okay.
Exactly. So I think you get a pretty good deal from Sega, and yeah, I think they do it a little bit better than Nintendo, who cashed in a little bit. Although I think the original NES also costed 80 euros.
Well, it doesn't sound really that expensive, but it's still not cheap.
No, it's not cheap. But I never owned one. I just played it because of my uncle. He always was crazy about games, old guy. But he had a Nintendo, and then he had a Sega, and then he had a computer. So that was the guy who infected me with this virus.
Yay!
And I actually played the original, which was always great. I always loved playing Sonic and Batman. Yeah, it's a shame Batman's not in there. Batman was a good game. So yeah, I'm really excited to have it and actually start playing it. So Really good.
Oh yeah, by the way, Mark,
Just
I
so.
bought something for you actually at the Action today, which I said to you told you yesterday to
Yeah.
buy. I actually bought you. It's downstairs. I will not pick it up now. I will send it to you somewhere this week. I sent to you a
Is it
lovely thing.
pink and made of rubber?
Oh, definitely. No, I actually saw it. It was actually €3, so not that
Yeah.
expensive.
It's a stand for the phone.
Yep. So you can
Ah,
actually
good.
film on it. So
Thank you, Ronnie.
you're welcome. It was so cheap, and I was thinking, okay, I will buy it. And since I am a
Have
really
my thanks.
cheapskate, I will actually drop
Or
it in my office, and I will actually send it through my office because I'm such a
in
cheapskate.
a Ziggo box. You will break it in parts and send it to me in the Ziggo box.
But actually, I will just drop it at the front desk, and I will say, hey, send it to this address, and they will do it.
You should send it to my work. Let's see what happens if they drop in this box at, at my office. It's like,
And then
Mark, what
with
the
a
hell is this?
Ziggo logo on it.
Yeah, what the hell is this? What are you doing?
Let's send it to Mark from Amex.
Yeah. Well, they will deliver it, but then the office will ask, like, Mark, I don't think you should get packages here. What the hell are you doing?
Then it says American Express, the attention of Mark Mook.
Yeah, Mark, look, parts, special parts.
Yes, I will send it to you. I still have your address here, so
Yeah. Well, if you would, yeah, that would be
yeah.
nice. Thank you.
You're welcome, Sam.
Be very helpful to start making videos.
Yep. Well, we're actually going pretty far with it, so
Yeah. But yeah, the Segas looks like a great deal, and I'm not sure in terms of what terms Nintendo would like to give us a Nintendo 64 Mini.
I don't really think they will do anything with that. Just to be totally
No,
honest.
I think it will be, if they would, it would be really successful, but then they would shoot themselves in their own foot because it has so many great games, which are classics, which they can sell on other platforms.
Yeah.
I doubt that they will do it, or otherwise they will make a Nintendo 64 without these games. That seems pretty bad.
Yep.
So,
Well,
but I
maybe.
know there's a big market, and a lot of people would love it to have one because the 64 is like a cult item nowadays.
True.
I have the original. Yay!
So, and Apple is actually, that's the other topic actually I was thinking, which is well worth talking about, is that Apple is actually taking over Intel's 5G or actually modems. Or I was thinking, okay, Apple, are you really going to do that? That's actually quite fun. So I will link you the article so that you can actually read it yourself, since we don't prepare this shit in front of the live stream. Because that's how we work.
First, have to Google the link of the article.
No, I already have the article linked in my browser, but I never share them with you in front, which I think we should do that at some point.
So, in what perspective should I look at this? Is Apple taking a part of the router market or something? Router
It's
market?
taking over, what I've heard is actually taking over their mobile division. So the mobile division of Intel they're taking over. So actually because of the 5G. So yeah, that's the reason why Apple will get 5G and they don't have to work with Qualcomm. So yeah, they can actually take a better advantage because, in my opinion, the Intel chips are much better than all the other crap.
That's a shame then. So what kind of chips will Apple start using?
I think they will use Intel chips. That's what I can read of it. So yeah, that's quite funny actually. I was thinking that was quite cool. But on the other hand, I don't really see the reason to have actually 5G now. I mean, I don't see the reason.
They will use it in their phones. I think they primarily bought it for that.
Yeah, just to be like on the bandwagon with all that stupid. But yeah, maybe. I mean, it might be cool for Apple, a good move. But the amount of money they actually paid to Intel is actually thinking, oh my fucking lord. But yeah, okay.
How much will they pay?
I think it's too much to even talk about it. I mean,
billions?
Yeah, billions.
So what does this mean then? Because in a lot of laptops you have Intel Wi-Fi chips.
No, that will be still from Intel. That will be still Intel. Apple only takes over like the
5G.
mobile versions, so like which were actually designed for phones, and specifically like the 5G things.
Well, I can imagine why. I mean, Intel never really does anything with phones.
Nope. Well, they
And
tried
they are
actually.
the
They tried.
wireless market, yeah, but I mean they're primarily computer hardware anyway. So for them it's probably a small part of their their the things they own.
Oh yeah, they should. But yeah, I think it is actually an interesting move from Apple.
Yeah,
Just to have that in their own factory, in their own hands, so they don't have to work with Qualcomm because they have a lot of fights with Qualcomm over that. So yeah, I think that's also a good move and also quite interesting and maybe a little bit stupid from Intel to do this. But yeah, I think Apple will finally move forward again, and we don't have to like that bitch fighting with Qualcomm anymore. So maybe
because
Apple will
Qualcomm is
start
the main competitor.
the main competitor and actually delivering the chips to Apple like their modem chips.
Right, right,
And
right, right.
maybe prices will go down from Apple. I will
Yeah,
doubt that.
or
But
they go up because Apple now owns the shit.
yeah, so maybe finally Apple will go with like stable things because Qualcomm wasn't always stable in my opinion at least. So yeah, we will see. That was actually quite
Qualcomm
funny.
is a big player. Yeah,
It is.
it's true.
And since a lot of people already talked about it, now we are going to do it as well. We won't give a very much in-depth review about it, since it's
No,
only
but
quite
it's
funny.
interesting to discuss.
It's quite funny actually. The amount of money that Apple paid to actually get that Intel division. I mean that is quite fun.
Yeah, it is.
No, but I hope really then that their 4G connection must be good then in the phones. It must be better. So yeah, maybe we'll see then iPhones with powered by Intel. No.
Powered by Intel, powered by Apple.
Powered by Apple, Intel parts used.
Right, right.
Alright. So
All right.
so that's quite funny actually.
Yeah.
And now a word of our sponsors, which we don't have.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
just looking at some other articles that I see here on the website of hardware.info, and it looks like AMD is really smashing it. They have the same profit margins, and their turnover is 20% higher
yeah,
compared to last quarter from last year.
I saw that, Jen. That's actually quite
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah,
yeah, but because of the success of their chips, I mean,
yeah. So,
if you see that it outwinked Intel,
so
literally outwinked Intel.
I think
Uh,
Intel is quite losing on that battle.
Yeah, and I think they will come back. Intel always comes back, and they're big enough to come back. So they'll probably come up with something at some point. But
At some point they will, at some point, yeah, but not now. I think Intel is now losing quite hard, which I'm actually quite happy to
yeah,
hear.
well, it's good. It's very good for competition.
There is at least some competition actually, because the few years before Risen came out, it was actually quite boring. I mean,
Yeah, it was
it
really
was
boring.
Intel,
Yeah.
Intel, Intel, or Intel, and if you are actually cheap, you will go even to Intel, not even go to AMD. Unless you are called Mr. Jamie from our lovely friend in Scotland, who always believed in AMD. um, but yeah, that's actually quite good for AMD, and I really hope they will kick Intel's butt. But even
Yeah,
AMD is going up in prices because to
I
say,
hope.
hey,
Yeah, going up in prices
yeah,
already.
even the chips are going to be more expensive because people will buy it anyway.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm not. Maybe they will go up a little bit, but not in the sense I think that like Apple is doing it because
no, I don't think
I
in
mean,
that
if they
sense.
make it
No.
too expensive, computer market is really competitive, correct? I mean, right?
Hmm.
So I don't think it will go up that high, but
It
I
will
do
go
think
up
they
at
will
some
grow.
point.
And what I hope is that they will grow into the laptop market as well, which they were already starting with, because they were pretty big in the laptop market
I
around
actually had a few
in
years
2000.
ago in 2008. I had an AMD laptop,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
was
I still
actually
had laptop that time.
pretty cheap. It was pretty crappy, but it was outperforming my Intel laptop,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
had a better CPU overall.
yeah, yeah.
But it was It was better. So yeah,
First half the 2000s, Intel and AMD were like roughly controlled 40-50% of the laptop market. Both. It
yeah,
was really competitive. Yeah.
and then it died a little bit for
And
AMD, and
then
then
it
Intel
completely
took
died out.
over.
Nowadays, you only see Intel laptops. But that will be really good if the mobile market also gets some Intel competition.
Or AMD competition, you mean? Uh,
AMD competition. Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that will be quite cool actually. I really hope. I really hope they're going to do something with it. So
Yeah. Would be good.
yeah,
Do good
but
numbers. We should get shares in AMD, Ronnie.
Actually, we should, yeah. In advanced micro devices, or like I
You
call
get
them,
shares anyway, so make some more money.
in Dutch, alle dagen moeilijk doen, AMD.
Well, the drivers were always shit of the graphics card.
In my opinion, they are still are. Because that's never the good point of
Oh god, they were
AMD.
horrible. I actually switched at one point. I switched to just purely out of pure rage. I switched to Intel just to have normal drivers and normal functionality because I couldn't get it working anymore. It was awful.
It was actually. So yeah, that's actually.
No, but that was just a side step. So
Yeah, yeah. And just did you ever play GTA by the way, by any chance? Grand Theft Auto.
no, I would also. I've always had something like I want to get into it, but I have too many things to do to get into it. But I
Well,
heard the rumors of what you're going to say. So
yep,
please go
I
ahead.
played GTA. I played it when I was a kid, or actually a few years ago. I just bought it for the Xbox, which is now actually dead, the game. I bought it, and I also have it on my PC, just to play around a little bit, fool a little bit around. But they're actually starting with a casino, and I was thinking, seriously, it's actually, it was not really surprising to me at all,
Yeah.
because it is Grand Theft Auto. I mean, you say the word hooker and all that you're shooting people. So yeah, a casino in the game will be quite fun. But the fact is, you have to pay it with real money, so it's actually real gambling in a game, which also little children are playing these days. So I think
It's weird, isn't it?
I think it is actually it should be against the law because even in the Netherlands, online gambling is in that way is not even allowed.
Yeah.
I don't really think it's actually allowed in the Dutch law. I think
No, I don't think so.
I think it should be banned. Just the fact is that it's gambling. I mean, it's a game
If
that.
it's literally a casino which people gamble, then you're breaking the law because in the Netherlands that is not allowed. But if you have a license, it is allowed, but they probably
Yeah,
don't have. So
I don't know what Rockstar did actually, but I'm actually quite concerned that little children are playing the game. Even my nephew is playing GTA, and I'm really, really against it. And I actually want to go to his house and break the game disc. I just want to throw it away.
yeah.
Because he's actually too young. He will be 9 years next week, next Wednesday. He will be 9. Then, but still, he's now still 8, and he's too young to play GTA, in my opinion. So I was saying to him, if you see the casino, yeah, I saw it, and I want to get some money for it. And I said, if you even start to gamble, I will get your PlayStation and I will throw it away. Oh, because you're not going to gamble. Gamble is bad. If you are going to gamble, you will lose because you are playing with Satan. You're playing a Satan's game. You will
Could it not
lose.
be that actually the game is dying quite a lot and that they hope to attract more players in this way?
I don't know. I actually
I
didn't
think
check
that
the.
might be the reason.
It might
It's an
be. I
old
don't
game.
know. I don't know if it is dying because I didn't play it for like a few years now.
Yeah, but it's an old game. You said it yourself. It's a few years. I think it's already 5, 6 years old, isn't it?
Yep, but I never really liked the latest GTA. In my opinion, it's too much like killing people.
Yeah.
But it's not really like the game anymore. So I think they are losing people and they need to attract people, so that's why they have the casinos.
Yeah.
But do you really need to do that? Really, casinos?
Yeah, you would ask yourself, like, do you really need that? Do you need that in a game? Well,
But
apparently they
gambling, I mean,
think they do.
even children are playing that game. So is there a strategy to get more people, or do they want more money from the people? And I think it's actually a combination of both. And they're
Yeah.
thinking, oh my god, children are playing the game. So in my opinion, they actually want to target the little children to spend their mommy's credit card. Mark is getting tired. So yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, but we can still play a
I
game
was up
after
since
this.
7 this morning, so.
Okay. Well, we can still play a game after this, so I can actually use Shadow.
Yay!
Yay!
We
So
always do.
yep. So actually, that is quite funny. So, is it actually that they want their mommy's credit card and actually let little children spend to actually gamble in the game?
I don't mind as long as it's an American Express credit card.
True. But that's quite funny. I mean, did they actually protect it against minors? I mean, if you're under the age of 18, then gambling in the Dutch law is actually forbidden.
They never do that. I mean, is this game is of course, yeah, it's available here. Did you
It's
did you do you know if it's available in the Netherlands, the casino
yes,
part?
it is as far as I know. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, then they are breaking the law, so
yes, I think it is quite stupid.
actually report it.
They actually are targeting the little children who are playing the game. Um, So I think that's quite stupid. I think they shouldn't do that. I think they actually ruined the game because they already did, in my opinion. Because they were getting too far, and actually it looks nice, but it's not really my cup of tea anyway. So I think they're just losing money and they just want to make money. And if you're that's my statement actually to all people who are gambling. If you're gambling, you will win something and you will fucking lose.
Well, you can
Unless
gamble, but don't gamble with the object of making big scores of money, because usually you don't.
unless you are me
Usually,
and you know how to count cards and actually cheating on playing blackjack or any game, because
yeah, but
I can actually count cards on blackjack.
those people will usually get kicked out of the casino with a ban.
Actually, I'm not even allowed in Holland Casino anyway.
No, so they will
So
always
yeah.
get caught. So
Yeah, but it is quite fun to do that. But you will always lose, and that's actually my
yeah,
thing to all those people who are actually in that online casino. You will lose money. You will lose. I mean, and if you are going to lose thousands of euro, dollars in the game, and you're broke, then it's actually completely your fucking fault. So I think it is quite stupid in my opinion.
but if you're 7 or 8 years old, I mean, you don't really know what you're doing.
Nope.
Or at least you know what you're doing, but you don't see the consequences.
Nope. So yeah,
Sometimes you also don't know what you're doing.
True, true. So yeah, that's actually my thought on that. And what do you think of that gambling in general in a game? Gambling in a game in general,
Yeah,
like a
gambling
Fortnite.
is it's per definition gambling is addictive. So if you have addictive tendencies, stay away from it.
Yep.
I tried it for a while. It was fun, but I also lost money. One time I won money all of a sudden. One evening I won 200 euros. But yeah, after that I quickly lose interest as well, because you notice. I mean, we're both autistic, so you notice quite easily that you actually don't win anything, and that there's no chance in hell that you can predict what the next number will be. And then if you use roulette or something, yeah, I mean, it's pointless. In the end, it's pointless to.
Yep. So that's why I can do in blackjack. I can count cards. I mean, I can do that. I know how to count cards. I know which cards are in my favor, and I know where to fold or whatever, or to re-raise. And it will always be in my advantage. But that's actually illegal to count it.
Yeah, because if a casino catches you, they will always say, "Look, you are not allowed to do that. It's in our conditions, and you're banned."
Yep, but I think actually gambling, it might be fun to actually say, hey, here you have my €2, and let's see if that horse wins. It's quite fun. But yeah, gambling is addictive, and you should be a warning that if you're gambling, you will lose money.
There's a whole system online about gambling on football matches, and there you can set like your winnings. You predict you predict a little bit your winnings.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a whole system that keeps the score of how good you are at that. And actually, there's also online people who sell like their predictions and take a profit out of that. So you can actually make money, but more if you are on the prediction side of things.
Yep.
If you actually try to put money on something, I mean,
No, I will never gamble. I liked it.
it is fun though. I mean, I did it for a while just to try it.
I also did it for a while to actually try it out,
Yeah.
but I won't do that. So.
In the end, I lost money. I made money first, and then I lost it all. So, and I actually lost a little bit more. Not thousands of euros, but yeah, in the end, you will always lose.
Yep. So that were actually the topics that I was able to create since I was doing other things. Do you have more things where you were saying, hey, okay, that's something to actually mention? Or
Yeah,
do you think...
buy an American Express card, so I keep my job. It's summer now. You all go on a holiday. So
Yeah, you're going to a holiday, so buy American
yes,
Express, people.
in the Netherlands, not somewhere else.
But even a credit card, people, you are borrowing money when you're using a credit card. You're borrowing money.
And half of my callers I saw today were actually people who have debt with us, and yeah, I have to put them. I have to connect them to the financial department to get them, make sure that they will actually pay us.
Well, actually, if you have a credit card, you can only spend on the credit card, but you can actually pay back. If you spend like
what you have, I mean,
if you have like 10,000 euros a month and you are spending on your credit card 40,000 euros a month, Yeah, sure in hell you are not going to pay that. Definitely not.
Well, it is handy though because a lot of people have one now for the holidays, and it seems that if you want to rent a car, then they ask some kind of down payment, or they will reserve a certain amount on your credit card
Yep.
as a security measure. And that seems to work pretty well because you will get it back if nothing happens to the car. So
Yep.
and
Yeah,
and
so
as a
maybe, yeah.
customer, you don't lose any money because it's a reservation. So
So people, if you
so
want
it's
a
not that
credit
bad.
card, be sure, be wise, take American Express.
Yes,
Because then
exactly.
you will get
Be
Mark
sure,
on the
be
phone.
wise. Take out that platinum card,
That was our little
the
advisement
green
spot.
card.
Well, actually, if you're taking a credit card, you have to be considered which type of credit card you have. For example, in the Netherlands, most common credit cards are Visa and MasterCard these days.
Yep,
Even in
that's
my
right.
local town, I see a lot of American Express these days as well, because apparently it's getting more normal.
It's getting
So,
bigger, and in the Netherlands, we're not on a credit card, so you won't get a chance to have a big debt because you always have to pay back your debt after a month, so you cannot spread it. There's no interest. So
no.
actually, it's better. A lot of people say it's better, and they think it's a good thing. I think it's also a good thing because it's like a cash card you buy in the supermarket. You have a certain amount of money on it,
I gave my
and when it's
nephew
empty,
a
you cannot
while
use it.
ago a debit credit card, so debit
Yeah,
card that you
a
actually can
debit
buy
card.
in the store. And I gave it to him. He said, "That's a Visa." And I said, "Yeah, it has 10 euros on it. When the 10 euros are reached, you can do anything with it. So now you learn how to pay with a card. Because he actually wants a bank card, but I think he's actually too young to have that. So I gave him like a prepaid credit card from Visa, which actually worked because apparently.
Can you not get a bank card in like a junior account?
No,
Most banks have it from very young ages, and then the parent
true.
is still
But the fact
responsible.
is, I want to teach him how to go on with normal money, with real money that you have in your hands, like.
Yeah, but you get a bank card, but you also get like when I was young, I had like a little savings box which you can put money and smaller coins in, and
True,
that you can
but
save up your coins.
that's not anymore. More or less, it's like card and card and card. So I give him still like
Yeah.
normal money. But then he says, "Yeah, I want to transfer to my credit card." So we go to the store, and we actually gave the store like 10 euros he saved up, and he actually going that on that credit card. So yeah, he knows the limit. So
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to teach him value. Because if he charges up that card, he has to pay a little bit. He said, "Is that normal?" I said, "Yeah, that's what we call interest."
Yeah.
That's also on the normal credit card. I want to teach you that because you want to have a card. So I want to teach you that if you pay someone to put money on a card, you will have to pay interest.
That's why we
Oh,
actually have Jews because of interest.
so yeah, you have to pay interest. Oh. And I said, "Yeah, you have to pay a charging fee," and I explained them all. I said,
Yeah.
a card isn't free. So
Nope.
if you have a normal bank card, whatever, you have to pay interest. So at ING, you have to pay like €6 per quarter.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
ridiculous, and it gets higher every time. It's really
yeah, so
stupid.
that's why I don't have that bank anymore. I said 2 years ago, bye bye. So yeah, I mean, you have to pay interest. So I told him that, and I want to teach him the value of money. Teaching him that.
Well,
That works actually pretty well with him because when we are going to the store, we are actually going to the action. He wants to buy a toy, and he can pay with his credit card there, with his prepaid credit card, which is quite fun. And he's looking at it. Okay, Uncle Ronnie, I have to pay €3 with this card. That's what how much this card costs and how much this little toy costs. But then I have to pay 10%, 1% interest because I'm paying with a Visa credit card. And I said, yeah. So what? How much will it be then? And then he's calculating, and I said, well, if I go with a little bit cheaper, I don't have to pay that interest. And so then he's actually looking in the store, because I said transaction will cost money. Everything in the store I said costs money. Even that card terminal there, if you're using your
costs money.
card, costs money. And if you have a normal bank card, you won't see all that and you won't be triggered. So even my mom teaches me all this with a prepaid credit card. Because you have to pay. Because everything you buy, you have to pay for. So he was actually thinking,
Well, and pocket money. Just give some money every week. This is what you can spend. If it's gone,
it's
it's
gone.
gone.
Yeah, and
Yeah, you
actually my
cannot use it
nephew
anymore.
is starting to learn.
You
So
can
he
also
want,
put it on your bank and save it up. It's maybe
uh,
smarter. Not
and
nowadays with a low interest, but
no,
it used to be smart to save it up.
yeah, and he wanted to buy an ice cream. And then he was really thinking, well, that cost me 80 cents. So he was actually thinking and calculating. and then he was actually thinking, yeah, is it profitable? And I said, no, definitely not. so
It
so
is
yeah,
nice though to have an ice cream.
yeah. So I told him, what are the values of it? Yeah, it's nice. It tastes good. Okay. So so
It's
he's actually
enjoyable.
he's actually thinking about his purchases, and that's quite funny. So I'm teaching it with a very simple prepaid credit card. Then he has to learn the value of money because he still thinks that using your PIN card, actually ATM card in the supermarket, is free. Actually, it
Yeah.
isn't. It's never free.
There's an endless amount of money on it that appears out of nowhere.
Yeah, so that's why I gave him that prepaid credit card, and that
Yeah,
actually
it's funny how they
works.
think. Yep.
Yeah, that's so funny. He's actually learning the value of money, and that's quite
That's
funny.
good, but you have to learn it on a young age. Because then you have an understanding on how things work, and that you have to save up money to spend
Yeah,
money.
and now he
Otherwise,
knows. He also tells his friends that nothing is free because then
no.
they say, "Use your PIN device; it's free." And my nephew says, "No, it's not because you have to pay for it. Because you're paying every 3 months. You pay a certain amount of money, which is also too expensive. I know exactly what I pay per transaction, and it's quite funny."
It's
So
like
he,
it's like a subscription with the PIN provider.
yep. So actually, he knows that now. So he is learning the value, and that's interesting.
Terminals.
Yeah, so you have to
Yep.
learn the value. If you don't know, then you don't know anything about money, and then you
Very
can
good.
just fuck up.
The right values.
Yep, the right values. So yeah, that were all my topics.
Start young.
Yep. So what
Well,
are
I
your
think you
topics?
should get him a copy of Monopoly, so he can practice.
Yep, maybe Monopoly. I still
Which
like
is
it.
actually pretty good because you learn the value of things. That some things are more expensive.
For example,
Like
houses. You want to
market,
upgrade your house to a
market
hotel.
values of expensive cities and stuff, and
Oh, we have here
rental. It's a
yeah,
good
we have here
concept.
the electronical version with pounds. Because he wants to learn. Because he went to England and he had to learn like how much is 1 pound. So I had to teach him that because pounds are different. So I teach him that, and I said, okay. So we were actually playing the English version of Monopoly, and he was actually interested in the thing that he actually had to pay. And there was no real coin, so he had to pay with a card. And he said, "Oh my God, Ronnie, I can't pay this hotel anymore because I'm in debt." And I said, "Yeah, what are you going to do then?" So then you start thinking again, and then you see him really think, "How do I get out of it? Because that's bad." And so yeah.
Well, it is funny. It is funny.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to think about. This is an important concept in a human life, so
No.
it's good.
Yep. So that were actually my topics. So do you have anything
What's
more?
Yeah, I was thinking. I'm not sure my nephew is already that far. I think he's just climbing trees. He doesn't really care about money or anything. He's just
No,
like, yeah,
because
I want
I
to play
teach it.
around. That's it.
Well, actually, the only reason why I teach my nephew is because he was thinking everything is free and that money did only come from your bank, and they didn't know. So actually,
That
I
is
had to
true.
teach him.
These children have no concept of it because my nephew also, he always dropped stuff and then he said, yeah, can we get a new one? And then my sister said, no, of course not. It costs money. And then he looked at her like, costs money? Why? You have a bank card. You can pay anything. You can buy it in the store.
He
But
doesn't
now
know that.
now he's really careful with things. He never drops anything anymore. He's really
No,
careful.
because he's now getting careful, of course, because he knows that okay,
Yep.
money comes from a card. That's something he knows, and he knows that his mommy doesn't always have it. So
No.
that's something. Yeah.
Well, especially not my sister.
So
So
yeah.
yeah.
That's the good
Yeah, I have
topics.
no more things to discuss.
No
So
more
we
things
should
that
not
actually.
discuss too much because otherwise we have no news next week.
Yeah, and the fact is, we don't discuss everything on this channel because we are different in that way. So if it is not interesting to us, we won't even show it or even tell
Well,
about it.
I have one more thing to say.
Yeah.
If you have Tinder,
Follow Mark.
I do have Tinder, but I don't pay for it. If you have Tinder Plus,
For the high educated people.
yeah, indeed, yeah. So the newest app version you use, you no longer pay via the Google Play Store. So apparently it's cheaper for Tinder, but they don't offer any discounts. So they take all the money. So that's pretty crappy.
That's against Google's rules.
I don't know.
That's actually against Google Play Store's rules. Actually, yes, because that's not allowed. Wow.
I'm reading here if that's, but it doesn't say that Google is against it. I don't know.
No, Google won't like it. So the app won't probably get.
Probably not because they miss out on money. But why
Well,
would you pay for Tinder anyway? I mean, I wouldn't understand.
I wouldn't understand either because I don't care. If I want to find a woman, I would just go onto the street and I will look
Well,
into
we can talk about that, but that's maybe something for
video. Yep.
another chat. Yeah,
So,
that's not really techy, but maybe that's something for a channel.
yep. Then I will say for now. Then that's all for this evening.
Yeah, I
Sometimes
agree.
it's a little bit shorter. Sometimes it's a little bit
Well, this
longer.
one is quite long.
Yeah, it actually also depends on the topic. So if there are no interesting topics to us, which are not interesting for us, we won't share it with you. We are not like all the other YouTubers who actually maybe say all. We won't. So if something is not important to us, we won't even discuss it, and we will say, okay, no. So yeah,
No,
and I will say, good day, and we will see you somewhere this week
bye.
again.
See you next time.
Bye bye. Cheers, love.
Bye.
Cheers.